The house that burned down. The roof fell in with them inside.
There's a lot of debris. Something has me. Wards. The ghost wards feel far away from here. Shall we?
Time must be nearby.
Of course. Ruth's heart binds them like a bushel of rotting corn.
This work shows real sensitivity. Caleb?
Maybe.
You!
Not
What
Alexander.
do you have there?
I suspect we've just...
Stop right there, you rank rump! Whatever you found, it ain't yours!
You buried Ruth's heart in the ashes of the house that killed her. I find that odd.
You, a ghost, went digging in the ashes of a dead woman's house. You're ill-positioned to call me odd. Don't think I haven't felt your presence before.
Stow your tongue while I speak with Ruth. Ruth, can you hear me? Can you speak?
Puck off and die! I'm in charge here.
No. Hush ye, Alexander. I'll speak. I'm Ruth. I hear you.
I'm Antea Duarte. We're here to help.
I'm glad. Please, end this nightmare. Help me.
Go to hell in a bag of shite. We're fine, and you have not the right, you hear? You've not the right. Her heart! Give it back!
You are gone, command you. I must summon you.
No more does he silence me. We may speak. Help me, please.
Who taught Caleb the resurrection ritual?
To say it was taught would mean he'd learned it. He read it off a page. As a sorcerer, Caleb makes a fine cobbler. Thing about Caleb, he was a good listener. As he worked, clients would bend his ear. The Haskell boy, for one. As Caleb pinned the governor's shoes, young Lammy would talk magic. Nonsense, really. But Caleb was listening.
Wait, Lammy Haskell gave Caleb the resurrection ritual.
After Lammy mentioned the ritual, Caleb became obsessed with it. He begged. Lammy, in his misplaced generosity, gave it. Caleb was intent on dark work. Lammy furnished written instructions.
Caleb's letter changed your life. How did it feel at the time?
It tore me in two. I loved Alexander, but I deserved to marry a man who would be true. Caleb seemed decent. I believed he loved me. I thought I'd married the better brother, but I'd married a liar. A liar and a devil. And yet, not even he deserves this. No one deserves this.
How did Caleb treat you?
With adoration. I was an idol, worshipped, yet unloved. He was the sculptor and I was the statue, smiling down, unmoving from my pedestal with nothing to say. Now I'm sewn into a festering sack with the quivering remnants of my husband and the angry ghost of his dead brother. Please, let me out.
Ruth, your husband Caleb's botched resurrection ritual brought you back, but allowed his brother Alexander to take you hostage.
Once we deal with the Watson brothers, you shall be free to ascend.
Do what you must. I'll suffer it if it leaves me free to go.
No! We can stay. Please, Ruth, let us stay.
Look at you. You're counterfeit, a sham of a thing. Your so-called life is no life at all. Caleb lied and stole your love. But when the time was right, you lied and stole his body. We're ending this nonsense now.
Alexander, you were wronged, but Ruth owes you naught. Not her life, nor her death.
I'm not my brother. I am the man who runs into the burning house. Ruth owes us nothing. But my love is true and his is not.
Your love's not measured by what you win. It's measured by what you're willing to let go.
I'm sorry, Ruth. You deserved better. Better than him. Better than me. Send me away, Banisher. Let the devil stoke the flames of hell for me, and we'll see if I burn.
Take your head out your arse, you're not that important. Right, hold still, both of you. Let me pry you all apart. Go in peace.
Are they gone?
Am I speaking with the cobbler, Caleb Watson? That you, Caleb?
I think... yes, that's me. Or it was me, once. For my bastard brother was my hollow keeper.
You're not entirely innocent, though. If you'll permit the unfortunate expression, there was more than one of you in it.
Aye. You were in it too. He ruined my name, ruined my flesh, ruined my wife. You gave him a pat on the cheek of his arse and sent him on his way. I am an imperfect man. My brother was a bastard and sly, and he tricked you onto his side. What does that make you?
I too am an imperfect man. I have mercy and patience in limited supply. Let's not test those limits further, eh? I mean, we've seen some horrors, but that...
This is the work.
You're right. There's nothing I'd rather be doing. That was... something.
Don't take it to heart. Their choices are not your business.
Our choices are my business. And their consequences too.
Don't waver. We could win a battle, but we can't win the war. Nobody should conquer death. And we don't want to pay the price of trying.
Aye. I hear you.
Good. Now, let's see what Lammy Haskell has to say about raising spirits from the dead.
It's locked. There must be a key.
Good day to you, Mr. McWraith.
I'd wish you the same if I knew your name, sir.
Ishmael Law. I have seen you in the meeting house. I have recognized the markings on your hands. I would have liked to have been a banisher, to tackle with the mysteries of our world. That must be something.
You wanted to be a banisher? That's unusual.
As a child, I met a banisher. I was impressed by the marks on his hands, the assurance in his demeanor. He made me feel safe. You do God's work, though you know it or not. Like Charles Davenport, I respected the minister a great deal. He's a terrible loss.
You wanted to become a banisher. Why didn't you?
I got married instead. Came to New England. Ruined everything.
Tell me about folk round here.
A vast subject that requires, perhaps, a more specific question.
Tell me about Governor Haskell.
A man like me does not get to know a man like him. He is a man of faith. We all trust him. That's all I can say.
Tell me about Lamentation Haskell.
Nice boy. Very secretive. I do not understand the things he says. Fortunately, he does not say them to me.
How about you? How are you feeling?
I've not been asked this in a long time. I am feeling a bizarre conflict between faith in the Lord and sheer unholy terror.
I'll see you later, Ishmael.
Anytime, sir.
Ghost Ward. I think you can safely knock it over. I can manifest now.
the famed and famous Banisher, the one and only Red McWraith.
Have we met?
I was at the meeting house. You've got guts. I like that.
Thank you very much.
Ooh, politeness. Gives me the shits. I'm Phoebe Walcott. I buy and sell. Now then, what's your pleasure?
Have you been trading in New Eden long?
Forever and a day, your Highlander Highness. I belong to this land, body and soul, and can no longer tell where I end and it begins.
Really?
Of course not. Don't be so gullible. Life makes more sense to the cynic. Sense of humour won't go amiss, neither. Folk here are too grim to notice how charming and funny I am. 8 years, if you must know. Of the third settlement, I was one of the first to arrive. And look how far we've come since.
What can you tell me about the community here?
Like whom?
I bet you tell me what you know of Governor Haskell.
That kind man. He's been so good to me. He's all vapour and bounce.
Lammy Haskell. Any thoughts about him?
Him? He's so deep in his father's shadow you'd barely know he were there.
And how are you?
I'm doing my best to bring a little joy to the world. What with all the gloom.
And how's that going for you?
Badly.
May I see your wares?
I'm a shopkeeper, aren't I? Yes, you may see my wares.
Till we meet again.
You mind your good self, do you hear?
Good day, sir.
Good day, madam.
Mistress. Lucy Barrow, the alewife.
Red McWraith, the Banisher. Alewife, is it? I'd never have guessed from looking at you.
And what does an alewife look like, Mr. Banisher?
She's got you there.
Tell me about yourself. About your work.
What are you, the census taker? I'm Lucy Barrow. I'm earnest, proud, clever. I'm a widow of 41. My husband and I ran a tavern in England. I was the brains, he was... well, he was there. And if you call me Widow Barrow, I'll fetch my shears and dock your chestnuts.
What brought you to New Eden?
Freedom. Prosperity. The chance to watch good Puritan men drink till they are sick, even as they fill my purse. And chestnuts. I came for chestnuts.
Now, I happen to know that the alewife hears stories others don't. So, what's new?
Want a story, do you? All right. Recently, I saw Phoebe Walcott walking strangely. She was hiding something under her coat. I don't know what it was, but she went into her barn, and when she came out, she no longer had it. I've seen her repeat the deed on several occasions. Not that I'm counting, nor that I care.
How's life in the Harrows? As sweet as you would wish?
When is life as sweet as one could wish?
Well, that depends on how you define sweetness.
Sweeter ale sells better, but the sweetness makes it weaker.
Tell me about the governor. Not a big ale drinker, I imagine.
Sadly, no. Perhaps if he had been, he might not have been such an arseworm. He's a man, afraid of me, an educated woman. He pries, comes calling to check the contents of my pot. He's afraid. A scared little man. I am a woman of brains and means, but despite that, nay, because of it, I fear the witch hunt.
What can you tell me about Lamentation Haskell?
I hardly know him. He doesn't talk much. I suspect he's smart, but it's hard to tell. He's a little boy. Adorable, of course, but hardly interesting.
Would you be interested in a trade at all?
What do you need?
I'll take my leave of you for now.
Have a good day, sir.
Governor.
May I help you, Mr. McCraith?
I have to admit, this is an unusual case.
Yes, but have you solved it?
I believe so. But the culprit was not responsible for the plague. At least not directly.
Have you found the witch or have you not?
Someone here has been dabbling in some dark magic. I have the name.
So, what are you waiting for?
Don't you want to hear the name?
I do not need to. The principle is what matters.
Not exactly. The name is Lamentation Haskell.
No, it can't be. My son is studious. Curious, too curious at times perhaps, but he does not have a bad bone in his heart.
He showed Caleb Watson a ritual. The cobbler used it and became possessed.
Even if true, It would only mean my son was exposed to corruption. It happened before. Bring me proof, Banisher. Find the real source of evil.
I'll get it. Mark me. I must find your son, Governor. Sooner rather than later.
His interests take him hither and thither. If he isn't here, he must be working on the outskirts. He's been sprucing up one of the abandoned houses there. I ordered them emptied when the sickness hit. Here, take the gate key. Go there. See for yourself. You're wrong about him. You're wrong about my son. Needless to say that I count, of course, on your discretion.
He was quick to condemn till it was his own son on the block. Who's he really protecting?
We'll bring him the proof he wants. If the boy is guilty, his father may not be able to protect him.